A question was asked regarding the war currently in Iran and its impact on the people in the United States and elsewhere, and what to do. It is a complicated situation where there are a mix of motives and intentions on the parts of all. But it is a tragedy because it is the intent of the aggressors in this situation to destroy the nation and to destroy the lives of the 90 some million people who live there, to reduce the nation to a very primitive life. It is a most unfortunate situation. The egos of powerful men have come into play to dominate, as has been done for millennium in human society, where the egos of powerful men become the dominant force to aggress against neighbors or anyone who may pose a threat to their power and position. And there is little care in these men for the lives of ordinary people abroad and to a large extent even in their home countries. They are more concerned with the maintenance of their position, their power, their territory, much like the buck wants to stake out its territory from other dominant males and to control the females in that territory. It is the same guiding force that guides these men as guides the buck. It is biological, it is primitive, it is rooted in herd psychology. These dominant males want to have control, they want to have territory, and they want to have people under their domain, under their power, who will applaud them, and those who would oppose them, they would destroy, both abroad and at home. This is the herd psychology of the buck, the dominant one, and he will fight all others to get them out of his territory and to claim his territory. So such men are dominated by animal tendencies, and they have given way their humanity to their animality, and their animal tendencies are dominating their minds. They may think, others may think they do it for the welfare of their own people. Perhaps that is in their mind, but stronger in their minds is their territory and their dominance. This has been going on from the history of humanity, when with the rise of patriarch society, this tendency began to be more prominent, and figures who rose up to be dominant leaders, dominant personalities, come under this spell of the animal tendencies, and they can be ruthless. And so those in charge in both the United States and in Israel have this tendency of mind. They are strong and cruel leaders who relish their cruelty. They differ in that the Israel leader projects it that his people will never be oppressed again, so he feels he must be the aggressor and the oppressor, so that he and his people are not victimized again. Rather, he will victimize others in place. He feels he is the right way for his people, whom he has a dedication to, but he also has a great deal of dedication to his own power. With the United States, it is a little different because there is no true ideology, no true desire to protect the United States. There is a desire to have territory, to have dominance, to be seen as the great leader, to receive the accolades of everyone. And there has been the gathering around of figures who will support this vision. There is, due to personality, no compassion, no empathy. So wars have begun. There is not only war with Iran, there is war with the American people. And this war with Iran is complicated. The mercilessness, the lack of humanitarian kindness, the willingness to destroy people is particular to this cruel regime. But the complications are there, that the people have felt oppressed by a dominant leader, but to help the people is not the motive. To gain security for the United States has some small motive, but that also is not the motive. There is a desire to be the head buck and to prove it by taking out the others. And so anyone who has stood up to him internationally or nationally becomes the target of his ire and his need to show his dominance. Just like the buck needs to get rid of any competition. But this leader has a certain soft spot for other leaders who he admires, who have not crossed him. Those who have crossed him, he wants to eliminate. So it is a difficult situation, lacking humanity. Also, a war is a good way to consolidate power, for everyone must be behind the president in a time of conflict and where there is an adversary. And there is the thought that this will consolidate power and take the minds off of domestic troubles that were getting a little too hot. So there are a variety of good reasons, according to this administration, to have such a war. And it was thought this would have a popular appeal and unite the country with him. Let us see where this goes. Pray for those, have compassion for those, do what you can to help those who are harmed in this country and throughout the world. But in such times, it is not just this war. There are wars in Afghanistan and Pakistan. There is war in Ukraine. There is the war with Gaza. There are other variables with this war, and how much the world economy and world order will be broken down is yet to be determined. How badly the impact will go, how much will happen, is yet to be determined. The cruelty and the revel in cruelty is appalling. There are many variables that can change what will occur. The future is not set. There are multiple directions it can go. But in all of this, what is missing is humanity, love for humanity, love for living beings, motives of compassion, love, and peacemaking are gone. Aggression is there for some, reveling in the fact that they can do so much damage. Because of personal wounds, they revel in this, the harm they do to others. For others, it is the protection of their power and the destruction of any who would stand in their way. War is a blight on humanity. And I am sorry to say, in these days, when humanity is restless, when humanity is discontent, when humanity is turning to these strong leaders, hoping they will save them, these leaders tend to get into these wars. And they do not save the humanity, for they are not sadviparas, they are not balanced human beings with the welfare of living beings foremost in their mind. They are not that. These are selfish men, governed by animalistic tendencies, as old as the human race, this aggression. It is time for the human race to put down this aggression. You are no longer a herd governed by a prime leader, a alpha male. These are primal herd tendencies in the human psychology due to biological reasoning. The evolution of humanity is to evolve beyond these animalistic tendencies that have governed the human race for time immemorial, to evolve to a higher level, a species governed by reason and compassion, by empathy, and loving kindness. For these animal tendencies will destroy the humanity if the humanity does not check these animal tendencies. Right now, they are out of check. A very big test is there for human life, and humanity must choose its direction. But before the light can shine bright, the darkness comes. The pain of birth brings the newborn. So, in these darker times, when you see the animalistic tendencies dominate human behavior, it is best to remember your Supreme Divine Father, Divine Mother. Remember Parama Purusha. Remember that there is a very larger perspective beyond these conflicts and difficulties and egos of people. There is a greater force, a larger context of the universe. And there is a new beginning, a new birth that will come from all of this. So keep that ever in your heart and mind. And in the darkest times, when your heart cries out, in the difficult struggles, remember that always and move for that. For those Sadviparan leaders, those leaders who have compassion for all living beings and want the best for humanity, not their own power, not their own dominance, will arise in human society, and the human society will go forward. But this period cannot be avoided at this stage. And this war, as the other wars that are going on now, is part and parcel of this lesson in the darker side of human behavior. And there will come a point where if humanity is to survive, they must pick themselves up and turn themselves around, join hands, and be collectively a united front. But that time is not now. Do what you can for the good of living beings. Do what you can to give kindness and love to all around you. Do what you can to support good leaders. And keep the vision of a bright future in your mind, no matter how dark events become. All right? Are there any questions?
Yes, Baba. I heard. Join hands and collectively be a united front. But then the comment, not now. I'm confused. Why not now?
All things have their time. Join hands now. Fight now. It is not to not fight, it is to fight now. But the future where the humanity joins together and puts aside this animalistic tendencies that comes out of necessity. You understand?
Okay, great.
There is not only war, there is pollution, there is climate change. There are many variables at play right now, and humanity is on a destructive course overall. You take away the war, it does not take away the destructive force. You take away the regime which is attempting to take over the US, it gives a little relief to the people who live here, but it does not change the scenario. There is more to come, I am sorry to say. The consequences of human behavior are going to be met, and humanity, to survive, must address those consequences. Yet you can find deep peace, deep love, and divine grace in the darkest of times. Those are the very nature of what is, the substantive nature. And give that hope, that divinity, so that people may keep their spirits strong, even when times are difficult. But compared to Gaza, Iran, Syria, you are very fortunate still. Use your good fortune for the welfare of humanity. All right. Is there more?
Baba, I have another question.
Yes.
Do you think that the protest people are doing here for No King's Day and this kind of a rallying is helpful?
It is very helpful. What has happened in Minnesota, how the people have come together, they have formed networks and groups and supported each other, neighbor for neighbor, bringing the forces of love, community, and kindness together. This is the way of the future. This is the saving grace of humanity. It is the counterbalance that out of this darkness, out of the pain, you can see in Minnesota, the people came together, the people began to organize, the people met with their neighbors, showed their love and their commitment to each other. And the rallies, they do the same. They uplift the spirits of the people, and they bring the people together, and they uplift the spirits of the people. They give people hope, and they give people community and joy. They are very, very healthy, and they create a very loud voice for those of darker intent to fear. For when the people truly rise up, all those in power fear. The voice of the people has two ways to be heard. One is by vote, if it can be done, and the other is by gathering together in large groups, making a statement of intent and a unity of spirit. That also is the voice of the people. All right? They are acts of collective inspiration. You are part of something greater, something positive in the face of negativity and cruelty. All right? All right. Namaskar.